Super Bowl Sunday is just around the corner. We'll talk our predictions, make some bets, and give you everything you need to know about the game. Coming up, all this and more on the 1-0 Sports Show.
We're going to have an exciting show. We're going to talk about the NFL divisional round and what we expect from it. We talk about Texas's inconsistent start in Big 12 play for men's basketball. We'll finish with some talk about our women's basketball team. So we got a packed show today.
I got to go the other way. You know, Texas A&M, they got a lot of identity issues. Are they an agricultural school? Are they military? Are they blue collar? Are they academics? They're all over the place. So
now, I'm always a sucker for a one-handed catch. I have tiny hands. I need 3 of them just to catch a football. So this one-handed grab in the end zone, that's just super impressive in my eyes. That's going to be my play of the week.
Mayo pour on college game day. Look at this. Just the guy and the North Carolina, South Carolina game. He's just straight eating it, shirt off, rubbing it on his body.
Hey, listen, the Cinderella story ends here, Texans. I'm sorry, man. The chariots turned back into the pumpkin. It struck midnight. Whatever you want to say, I think it ends here.
Metro, we connect you to work, play, sports, and everything in between. I'm here with my co-host, Michael. How are you doing today, Michael?
You know, it's all right. We got Super Bowl coming up. You know, we're gotta mention that. You know, Super Bowl nobody wanted, but I think it's gonna be a good game regardless. So I'm ready to get into it, see what everything we gotta do.
There's nothing like the Super Bowl. And today on 1-0 Sports Show, I think we might be introducing a new segment here. We've got our dogs of the week this week. So, Michael, who's hot, or AKA your dog of this week?
Well, this is the dog of the week for me, and probably the dog of every week because that's just who I am as a person. I got my who's hot as the Lakers right now. People are going to be like, this guy's crazy. Why are we bringing the Lakers into it? They're the 9th seed in the West. Now, hold on, though. Before we start talking trash about the Lakers, this is a playoff team. You put this team in the playoffs, and they're going to make it happen. They just beat they ended at home without LeBron and AD. And, yes, they dropped last night's game to the Nuggets. They were on a 3-game win streak until that dropped. The Nuggets are a hot team. I watched the end of that game. They had that game, and they just didn't close that game. But I think you give this team all they need is all they got to do is make the play-in. You know, and right now they're sitting at 9th seed. They'll be in the play-in. But even if I think they're 5 games behind the 6th seed, I think this team can make a push for that. They've been hot recently. They didn't make any trades in the free agency. They might pick up Spencer Dinwiddie out of just sitting there. I mean, I think he got dropped by the Raptors when they made that trade for him. But I still think if they pick him up, even if they don't pick him up, we're missing D'Lo. D'Lo was hurt last game. Vanderbilt's out for about 2 to 3 weeks, and so is Cam Reddish. Vanderbilt and Cam Reddish are 2 strong defensive players that we're missing. Once they come back, then this team kind of mends together. Trade line, D'Lo's the best player I've seen in a while. So I think this team has what it takes, but let's see about your dog of the week.
My dog of the week has got to be the Detroit Pistons. The Pistons have won back-to-back games for the first time since October. Can you believe that? October. They were 2-1 to start the season. And last night against the Portland Trail Blazers, after this shot by Anthony Simons, the Blazers ended up 23 points with 4 minutes and 39 seconds left to go in the third quarter. And then Marcus Sasser, Jaden Ivey, Jalen Duren, and Cade Cunningham, they just took over. They came all the way back. And this was a game where you kind of just assumed the Trailblazers are going to put it away, and then you look up, and all of a sudden, Marcus Sasser, 3, bang, puts it in there. The Pistons are down 2. This is how the game ended. Jeremy Grant turned the ball over here. He had 49 points in this game, a career high for him, and the Pistons were still able to almost get the shot off at the end, doesn't get it off in time. But in overtime, the Pistons outlasted the Trailblazers. I mean, not only is this a mark on the Trailblazers organization, losing like this to the Pistons at home when your player drops almost 50 bomb, but how about the Pistons? They traded away what seemed like their entire team on Friday. They traded Bojan Bogdanovic and Alec Burke, and they come out here with barely any players on the road, comeback win, to win back-to-back games. Good for the Pistons. If you're a Pistons fan, go celebrate. I know it's been a rough 2 weeks for Detroit sports, but that was my dog of the week.
The Pistons, yeah, the Pistons though. I mean, yes, that's a great comeback. Don't get me wrong. That's basketball you love to see being played. But the Pistons though. Then again, you can argue the same thing. I'm using the Lakers.
Yeah.
So
we like having fun on the show. I think the Cavs are realistically the hottest team in the NBA, but you gotta root for the Pistons, man. Like they have an inspiring story.
The 8-win Pistons.
The 8-win Pistons. You know they're hot. But all right, moving into our who's not. Michael, who's your who's not hot of the week?
After coming in and starting the Big 12 5-1 and being the sole leader of it, the Texas Tech men's basketball team has dropped their last 3 games to TCU on the road, which that's respectable. And TCU's a good team, even though we went in there and we beat them by 11. We're not going to talk about that. Then losing at home to Cincinnati, one of the bottom-tier Big 12 teams, is definitely not a good look on your resume. And then you go on the road again, face Baylor, you lose by 6. So they're all close games that they dropped, but you're still dropping them. Losing a game is still losing a game. Doesn't matter what the competition is. So right now, I mean, they fell to fifth. They fell to 5th in the conference. So I mean, right now they're not looking too hot. They still have Kansas, Iowa State, play us again, and Baylor again. So I mean, those are 3 tough teams, especially because, you know, I mean, I can't really say we're the toughest team, but there's still always bad blood between the Raiders and the Longhorns. So that's obviously a game you can't just overlook. So I think they're going to make the tournament, don't get me wrong, but right now they're kind of falling off at a bad time. They were hot when they entered the Big 12, kind of dropped off towards the start of March in the madness, so it's not going to be as great as it looks right now. But I think that team, they have the talent turnaround. The surprise first-year head coach has been a great job, great addition to the team. So they always have a chance to turn around, but right now they're not my hot team.
Yeah, it's been a rough week for some Big 12 teams, including Texas and Kansas, that's both suffered losses. But my who's not, we're going to flip it back to the NBA, and we're going to go with the guy that I talked about the last time I was on this show, in Doc Rivers. He has just been ice cold. The Bucks are now 1-5 since he has been hired as the head coach. And I just, you know, I'll restate it. I just think it was a bit of a rash move from the Bucks organization to fire Adrian Griffin. But for Doc Rivers, I don't know what. I think maybe the All-Star break will help him, but I don't know what's going to fix this team. They just lost to the Timberwolves by 17 points. It's just rough, man. Like, you brought this guy in thinking he was going to give you a boost on the defensive end, and it's only gotten worse. So Doc Rivers is my not hot of the week. So
I mean, it was still surprising they dropped their coach that was 30-13 to hire choke artist in the playoffs, Doc Rivers, who's now started 1-5. It was such a surprising pickup for me. Yes, I think the Bucks' defensive rating was really bad, but their offense rating was really good. They were 30-30. I mean, 30-13. You still give your coach that season. I don't think it was a good hire, especially you started 1-5. Doc Rivers hasn't proven anything since 2008 in the playoffs. So I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's the Bucks, still a very talented team. They're still top. They're still up pretty high in the East. So we'll see how it turns around there. But I mean,
and another who's not has to be the NBA for making Doc Rivers the East All-Star coach. That is just ridiculous, man. But
I don't know what is their big take on Doc Rivers? Doc Rivers, I mean, as long as I've been watching basketball, Doc Rivers has never sold me on anything. I've never taken a thing. Yeah, Doc Rivers is a great coach. I don't think he's a great coach. Yeah, he had a win in 2008. That was the last championship. That's still a championship on your belt. That's still impressive. But that's the last thing he's done, and that's been 16 years since then. So I don't know why they picked him up now. He wasn't even coaching. He was calling games with Mike Breen. So and then they bring him back into the coach. I don't know what they're doing, but I'm gonna leave Doc Rivers around. I'll leave Doc Rivers around.
Moving on to the NFL, the Super Bowl is going to be this Sunday. So, Michael, who do you think is an underrated player from a team that's not getting enough attention that's going to help their team win on Sunday?
You know, people are going to call me crazy for this take, but give me Kyle Juice. That is the fullback for the 49ers. Yeah, most people don't know who that is. But he's usually been used as a goal line back and just pressing it in or just being a lead block in the goal line for McCaffrey. But, I mean, this year they've used him more in the red zone. They've been giving him, they've been doing little pitch options with him. They've been passing this in the flat with them. So I mean, I think he's going to score this game. I don't think that's a crazy take. That is a very hot offense. That's probably the best offense in the league. I think he's the person no one knows about. So I think he's going to make something shake this year. I mean, I think he has a touchdown on his belt this year. He never has any touchdowns in this year. I mean, he's a blocker. He's a fullback. You know, that's what fullbacks do. But yeah, I think he's something that someone's got to look out for.
Yeah, well, I'm going to flip it. On the same team, I have another underrated wide receiver. I'm going to go with Brandon Ayuk.
That's a good take.
Yeah, I think that this guy has just been off the charts in the playoffs for them. He had that catch against the Lions that really got them back into the game. And, you know, he's that guy where you look at him as that second or third receiver behind Deebo Samuel and George Kittle. But that means that he's going to be the one that's going to end up getting more open, and he's going to be the one that's got to make the plays. And he's one of Brock Purdy's favorite receivers. I think this guy doesn't get much credit because he doesn't have, you know, the flashy 70-yard runs and rips that Kittle or Samuel or McCaffrey pull off. But he's a very underrated receiver, and he's going to make a play. I have him scoring a touchdown in this game as well. But, hey, shout out as well to Kyle Juszczyk's wife. She's got her licensing deal with the NFL now. But moving it back to the NBA. The trade deadline was yesterday at 3 p.m. Michael, who do you think won the trade deadline?
I think the trade deadline was really boring this year. Nothing really happened. Nothing shook up the league like how it was kind of in the beginning when you saw Dame go to the Bucks and everything like that before the season started. But the trade deadline this year has been pretty boring. I think the most significant to me is since the Knicks are a contender to pick up Bogdanovic from the Pistons, because obviously the Pistons aren't doing anything. The Knicks gave up Evan Fournier, Macallie Finch, Quentin Grimes, kind of 2 second-round picks, so nothing really crazy to get. I think Bogdanovic is a very slept-on player. He's an undersized big, but he can shoot the rock. He can shoot the rock. He's a playmaker. He can rebound. I think that's something good. I think he's a good backup for when, or he's a good starter for now since Julius Randle's out, and then when Julius comes back, he might get pushed to a backup. But I think that's a good flip for them. I think this is a good move by the Knicks. I think that was the best thing they could have done. They also picked up Alex Burks, who wasn't really that big of a difference maker. I think the biggest difference maker is always going to be Bogan, but I mean, we'll just see how it goes. I think it was a good pickup by the Knicks because they're a contender right now.
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree with you, Michael. I mean, Alec Burke and Bojan Bogdanovic, you got 2 flamethrowers at the three-point position. I mean, Bojan Bogdanovic, I don't think that many people knew that he's averaging over 20 points a game.
Yeah,
Alec
exactly.
Burke's in at 17.8. I mean, these guys are shooters, and that is what the Knicks have needed. They got Brunson to facilitate, Randall download. OG Anunoby's undergoing surgery. He's going to be out for a month, be back for the playoffs. But I think this Knicks team, this puts them into real title contenders. I think that they Tibbs have shown that he's been able to have a little bit of playoff success, and it's time for him to take that next jump. But okay, that is it for this A block. Coming up next on our B block, we will have some pick'ems. We'll be joined by Manny Ramirez, and he'll guess he will choose the best highlights of the week. You don't want to miss it. All this and more coming up on the 1-0 Sports Show.
First career touchdown? Oh, yeah.
Welcome back to the 1-0 Sports Show. We are now joined by guest host Manny Ramirez. He's on for some verses. We're going to do some NBA highlights to start off. Michael, who was your NBA Player of the Week? Also, Des didn't catch the ball.
Dez caught the ball. I'm not even a Cowboys fan. Dez caught the ball.
Are we
Dez
serious?
caught the ball. He reached out to the goal line. He reached out to score.
Anyways,
The Packers fan here, bro.
Oh, that's right. He's the Pack. Look, I'm not even a Cowboys fan, but he caught the ball.
Packers
Hey,
fan.
49-32. That's all I gotta say. So
All right,
let's move on
all
to our
right.
NBA highlights this week. Who'd you have, Michael?
All right, I had Steph. Underrated part of Steph's game, not the step back threes, but Steph putting dribble moves on you, splitting the defense, and making a tough layup. This is something. Look, it's. So he's going to split the defense right here, kind of dribble around, have him on his back, and then kind of throw it over his head.
Hey.
Tough. See, that's the most underrated.
play.
That's the most underrated
Tough
part of
play.
Steph's game, is the fact that he can get to the basket, he can finish at the basket. That's a very underrated part of Steph's game, but that's my best NBA player of the week.
Yeah, dropped 42 with 11 three-pointers
Oh yeah,
last night.
18 in the first quarter, 6 from 3.
Yeah.
Steph being Steph. But
How
that's
about
just-
Steph Curry?
Tear.
All right, moving on for my NBA highlight. I'm going to flip it over to New York for mine. I had Luka Doncic. This guy's just a human highlight tape. He's always making highlights. But last night, he had this behind-the-back pass to Dwight Powell. I don't know if you want to call this behind the back, over the head. It was all of these things. Just nasty. I mean, this is the type of stuff that you see Allen Iverson doing back in the day. And for Luke, Jason Kidd, he's coaching him up over there. Luka, he's just, every single week, this guy's got a crazy highlight.
Yeah.
I like him to win the MVP. That was my NBA highlight of this week.
That's a LeBron-type pass right there.
I'd say it's a Luka type of
That's
pass.
a LeBron type
All right, Manny, who wins this highlight? Who wins this highlight?
Santi, I'm going to give it to you, man. I think that was a really good one. Luka's been playing real well. Oh, this is your bad take.
Bad take, bad
This
take,
is your
bad take,
take.
bad take,
Right.
bad take.
I think Luka's been playing really well this whole season. I think he's probably up for the conversation of being in that MVP. Unfortunately, we have Joel Embiid go down, so he's probably done for the season. Great game by Curry. He has that nice play, but for a while back, Curry had that thing where he would launch it way up in the air, and then they would just swoop in. So I'm gonna give this one to Luka.
All right,
Okay,
let's
all right.
go. One note to start off. Moving on to college hoops highlights. I'll start off this one. I had this whole fiasco that happened in Waco for this week. We saw the Baylor Bears right here. They went 0 of 2 at the line. And where they had a 2-point lead at home. This was a crazy game. After Scott Drew was ejected, Iowa State came back for more than 20 points. And right here, they tied up the game. Looks like, might go into overtime. Baylor was out of timeouts. They drive all the way down, get the and one to take the lead at home. How about that shot? And here at the free throw line, there was a crazy situation where the clock was started early, so Iowa State got an out-of-bounds play, and they flip it into Milan Momcilovic, and he hits the game-winning three, banking in from 35 foot. But wait, the referees called it off. He did not get it off in time. What a crazy loss for Iowa State. I mean, a good win for Baylor, but it was just a crazy game. This whole game was wild from start to finish.
Hey, look at his face there. He's like, man, we
fans
got
are-
out of that one.
The fans are hyped.
It's crazy because there was an argument on Twitter that they lost 0.8 seconds from that. What's it called? They put the wrong time on the clock.
Clock management.
The clock management was wrong, and he should have gotten that shot off. I was watching the end of that game. That was.
Yeah.
I didn't see. It didn't look like he got it off, but the time was different than what I thought it was going to be when the clock started running early. But we'll stop talking about that. It doesn't really matter.
Crazy game. How do you got, Michael?
I got Dylan Dessou, sweet move for the and-one dunk here against TCU last Saturday. I mean, this is a very underrated look. Little jab step there, a little in and out,
Looking like
and
the
one
king.
right there.
Wow.
Hypes him up, and then he fits the free throw. A lot of the times you'll see UT this year, they'll go down on the road, and they won't get back in the lead. But right when they went down against TCU, they took it right back. The next play, right instantly, and one dunk. It was the right play. I mean, they got around, little jab step move right there, got around him. I think it was sweet. I was watching it live. I think it was a heck of a move. But that's my highlight of the week.
Yeah, that was a great win for the Longhorns. They have to pick it up. Manny, who do you have for this?
Man, this one's tough, too. I love a big man move. Being a Spurs fan myself, big fundamental, I love a big man move. But that was a crazy sequence. Are you kidding me? We have missing the 2 free throws to keep it, a one-possession game, come down the other end, hit an and one on this side, and then the possible buzzer beater, a little controversy, a little maybe Baylor bias. We don't know what happened there. A little home field advantage, home court advantage. I'm going to give this one to Santi. But listen, listen. This is why we do 5. This is why we do 5.
That's it. I want to.
got 2 more.
It's a great. I believe you. I believe you. It's a great take, but I just want to remind you the buzzer beater didn't count.
That's
But
what
it
makes
was
it
the
even
highlight,
crazier.
but the
I'm just saying it didn't
But
count. I'm
see,
just saying it didn't
He
count.
didn't say his highlight was the 3.
Okay.
'Cause it didn't count.
Okay.
Moving
hey,
on
okay.
to
All right.
our
Let's do it.
NFL highlight of the year. It's been a long season.
of
There's
the
been some great
year.
ones. Who do you have, Mike?
I got Longhorn legend Andrew Beck's first career touchdown, a kick return against the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Show it to me.
Let's see. Look, they kind of pooch kick it to the fullback for whatever reason. That was a bad take. Look, he's ready to get hit right here. He drops the ball. He's ready to get hit. They don't hit him. So he's like, I'm going to take it back as far as I can. Let me
Get out
run.
there,
All
young
right,
man.
let's think.
Get
He's
out
probably
there, young
going to
man.
get to the 50, right? Oh, nope, outruns the kicker.
out there, young
Let me
man.
get that shoestring tackle. That's weak. Up, can't tackle me there either. I'm him. Let me just stroll in for a 82-yard return for his first career touchdown. Longhorn Landry, Andrew Beck, very underrated career as a Longhorn. Loved that guy when he was in the Burnt Orange and on 40 Acres, but that's my highlight of the year in the NFL.
That was a pretty good one, but I think I can match it. I'm going to go with, all the way back in week 1, I'm going to go with Xavier Gibson's punt return against the Bills. This was just a monumentous moment for the Jets. I mean, knowing how they finished the season to start off in this game, they lost Aaron Rodgers at the start, and then Xavier Gibson, he got it at the middle field, just cuts back right, and then he has a convoy of blocker, cuts back, easy touchdown to seal off the game. But that moment for me is what makes me choose this highlight. I mean, losing Aaron Rodgers on the second play of the season, he was their franchise quarterback. And for the Jets, this was a crazy game back and forth. They had that Garrett Wilson touchdown. Josh Allen threw 3 interceptions. It was just a great way to start off the NFL season, and especially for that rookie. He was undrafted, almost cut in training camp, one of the stars of Hard Knocks. This was a great moment for me, and this had to be my NFL highlight of the year. So, Manny, who's going to take home this NFL highlight?
The kicker there, awful tackle attempt, by the way.
Horrible.
Awful. He
Horrible.
didn't even try. He looked for a push and then got shoved. It was bad, but we'll just let Manny go ahead and get you.
Right, listen, hey, watch, check this out. If you've been watching the One and No Sports Show for a while now, you noticed that we've changed our intro video. The other intro video had me getting on a soapbox and telling coaches all over the country, if you just practice hitting and wrapping and dragging to the ground, plays like this don't happen. So, I love the story, but I'm going to give it to this side because he had 2 guys, again, hit and wrap, but he had 2 men come right at him, was able to dodge one, and then takes it all the way for an 82-yard house call.
He wasn't even trying. He was just trying to not fumble the ball when he got hit. They didn't even try and hit him. They got scared.
And he said, I'm
That's
still
crazy.
up. Take it to the house.
Right.
Yeah, go ahead and give me Andrew Beck.
All right, I'm still up 2-1, but moving on, let's go to our NHL highlight of this week. Who did you have for this one, Michael?
This is an NHL highlight. You know, I'm not big on hockey. The only thing I like about hockey is the fact that they can fight and the refs let them fight. And everyone loves that about the sport. But I got Anthony Mantha, an off deflection, they took the lead. Look, the clip's pulled up. It's kind of rips them there, kind of off a deflection, toss it, the fligs inside, little triple option. It's like, it reminded me of a 3-man weave in basketball that we used to do in basketball practice early in the morning when Coach dragged us in there. He's like, all right, swing it to the middle, kind of top right there, quick throw, and then right there, bam. I think it popped in the air for a little bit. Yeah, he plopped it. Ooh. See, that's what makes it even saucier. Like he popped it in the air with a puck.
Yeah.
That's pretty impressive, but that's my highlight.
Major hand-eye coordination.
All right, well, if you want to see something impressive, I'm going to give you my NHL highlight of the week. I had Connor McDavid in the NHL All-Star Skill Challenge. Look at the speed right here, showing it off. Wow, Jesus. He's just moving through those cones, going at 100 miles an hour. And then right here in the shootout, he's just going to go for all 4 of these corners. 4. Can he get 3? Can he get 4? He does it. I mean, wow. This guy is the LeBron of hockey. Some like to call him McJesus. He's got to be my favorite player to ever hit the rink. I mean, this guy is just, he's exciting to watch at the end of the day, and that's what sports is all about. This guy, he's got precision. He's got all the skill that you would ever need in an NHL player. My favorite NHL player. Who did you have for winning this one, Manny?
Yeah, Jesus did walk on water.
Jesus did walk on water.
And that's ice.
And that's ice.
Which is water.
Which is frozen water.
Which is frozen. Crazy, bro. We just put that together, huh?
No, we didn't.
Okay. You know what? I love the skills challenge. Check me out. I love the skill challenge, but there's no defenders there to make it any harder. It's just him doing his thing. So because there's defenders, and because I'm traumatized from the 3-man weave in practice, at 8 in the morning, I'm gonna go ahead and give it to this one. So we got a 2-2 now.
Yeah, we're
2-2. It all comes down to this one.
All right, well, we had a tie game going
it.
into our last highlight, which is the worst ref mistake or best blooper.
My favorite segment.
I think I'm going to start off this one. So last night, Robin Lopez was traded from the Milwaukee Bucks, but he ended up showing up to the game anyways. So right here, his birth brother, Brooke Lopez, hits a three. And if we can pan over to Robin, I mean, he doesn't care. He's just over there reading a book.
Just reading a
not really
book.
sure what's going on.
This isn't my team anymore.
You know, he's just getting in some good literature.
This isn't my team anymore.
Right there on the sideline, right behind the score table too. I mean, who even let him down
They
there?
didn't even put him on the bench.
He's off the team.
He's legit on the team. So he came to the game. He's like, I'm gonna get my reading on. That's funny. I'm not gonna lie. That's pretty funny.
You've been promoted to fan.
You've been promoted to fan.
All right,
That's
Michael,
what they were telling him.
who'd you have for this week?
This is atrocious in mine. This is awful reffing. So it's a 4-point play on Curry. He has sweet move, step back. He runs right into his body, and they overturn it. They turn it to an offensive foul. Because look, you'll see it. There's a replay after this one. So it's like sweet move, step back. That looks like he ran into him, right? We're gonna replay, slow it down a little bit so you can see closer.
Let's see this.
So you can really see. Good move, right there. Step back, good shot. Hits him on the arm, and then also doesn't give him a chance to land. But what they argued was that he stuck his legs out. The ref overturned it to an offensive foul when he stuck his leg out. That was the call. So they overturned what I thought was a 4-point play to Curry sticking his leg out too far and making the defender run into his leg, and they overturned it to an offensive foul. I thought that was an awful take, but you know, I'm not reffing. But that's a ref.
Manny, who's gonna take it home on this segment?
Man, that's tough. You guys brought out some good ones for this one. I'm not gonna lie to you. You guys brought out some good ones for this one, but I'm gonna give it to Santi. I'm gonna give it to Santi because bro, he did stick his leg out. He did stick his leg out.
Okay.
And so by rule, you have to call that the other way. I appreciate when refs call this thing the way that it's put in the rule book. I appreciate it. I enjoy it. I love it. So
I appreciate it.
I'm gonna go ahead and give this one to Santi because that's just funny. That's just real funny. The fact somebody let him down. Somebody let him down.
It was funny that he's reading the book.
Table.
He's reading the book on the sideline. I didn't watch it.
His brother's balling, hitting threes, and I'm just gonna read my book.
He's supporting his brother, but he still wants to catch up on his
Yeah.
I gotta respect
it. Man loves his literature. All right. Well, that was it for our versus block. Thank you guys for tuning in. Next, we will have some Super Bowl trivia. You don't want to miss it. questions.
All right, we got the guy who didn't study. We got the guy who's probably studied for this. All right. The rules are going to be simple. I'm going to ask 5 questions about the Super Bowl, just trivia, just overall from all the years past, and I'm going to give each of them a chance to answer them. Whoever gets the most answers right, obviously, wins trivia. So let's see if you can get your get back for that close highlight battle, man. That was pretty intense.
That was intense.
All right, so without further ado, I'll get off with the first question. So what team has played, this is kind of a warm-up question, what team has played in the most Super Bowls out of all teams? We have the first question, or first answer, the New England Patriots. Second, the Dallas Cowboys. Third, the Pittsburgh Steelers. And lastly, the San Francisco 49ers. I'm going to let y'all take turns to answer. And since you lost last round, I'm going to let you go first, Mike.
I want to take out the Niners right. I know that the Patriots have those 6 with Tom, and I don't think they've made noise. They didn't make any noise between that time, but 6 is still a lot. And they also had the 2 losses with Tom, so that's 8. So that's a lot. Mm-hmm. And then the Steelers are a very old winning franchise, but I can't tell you how many times they've been in the playoffs, but I can tell you how many times the Patriots have been in the playoffs. That's 8. At least that I know of is 8, and that's a lot of appearances. I'm going to go with the Patriots.
Okay, going with the New England Patriots for Mike. Santi, who are you going to go with?
You know, I wanted to go with the Patriots, but now that I'm thinking, I'm not as confident. But I'm gonna stick with the Patriots. I think they've been to 11. They've been to the.
Oh, there we go. He's adding more to me.
They played the '85 Bears. They played the Packers in '97. They played the Packers in '97, and I think they went to 9 with Brady. So I'm gonna go with the Patriots as well.
All right, did his research right there. The correct answer is A, the New England Patriots. They have 11 Super Bowl appearances. The Cowboys, Steelers, and 49ers all at 8 apiece right now.
Oh, wow.
So the Patriots, the Patriots were the clear answer there. Next question we got 1-1 for both of them. The next question is, which team has scored the most points in a Super Bowl game in one game? Just the one team, not both teams, just one team in one game has scored the most points in Super Bowl history. We have A, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, B, the Dallas Cowboys again, C, the San Francisco 49ers again, and then D, the Chicago Bears. I'll go with you, Santi. You go first.
This is a tough question because I think I know the Super Bowls that each team is referring to.
Wow.
But I think I have to go with the 49ers. I believe against the Chargers, they had the biggest win in Super Bowl history. But I think that's who I'm going to go with. I was between the 49ers or the Cowboys against the Bills. But I think I'm going to go with the 49ers.
All right.
Yeah,
I'll give it a clue. It is 55 points that team scored.
I know it's not the Bears because that's the defense Bears. And
could be surprised.
I don't think it's the Bears. I really can't put it on the Bears. So I want to go between the Niners and the Cowboys. I don't think it's the Buccaneers either. I'm thinking about the Jimmy Johnson Cowboys.
They did play the Raiders, and they had all those pick sixes. I'm taking with the 49ers.
49ers.
We got to get a play clock on this.
I don't want to be. I don't want to be the same. I don't want to be the same, especially because I don't know. I'll go with the Cowboys.
You'll go with the Cowboys? All right. Well, the answer to question number 2 is C, the San Francisco 49ers. In Super Bowl 24 to the Chargers, scored 55 points. That was in 1990.
See, knowing that's crazy, but, that's not that crazy, though.
Elite ball knowledge.
Yeah, what book did you read?
I wrote the book 50 Super Bowls and 50 Greatest Finishes by Jerry Rice. Great book. Go check it out.
Okay.
All right. Hey, that's where you got it probably. All right, so the next question we got, question 3. Santi's up 2-1. Which one of these teams has been to a Super Bowl? We're going to have 4 answers here. Only one of them has actually been to a Super Bowl.
Okay, I know the answer.
All right, so we have A, the Tennessee Titans, B, the Jacksonville Jaguars, C, the Cleveland Browns, or D, the Detroit Lions.
It's A.
I know it's not the Lions. Jags also seem very poverty. I don't think it was the Jags.
I'm going with the Tennessee Titans.
Browns and the Titans.
Feeling good about that pick.
All right, well, I think the Browns are also too poverty. I think the last time, I'm going to use my knowledge of LeBron to do this. They haven't won, Cleveland until 2016 didn't have a major league Super Bowl in 52 years. So I'll also agree, I'll go with the Titans.
The Tennessee Titans? All right, and the answer is the Tennessee Titans.
See, yard short.
Got that?
Knew LeBron was
two
gonna get it
right,
going.
3 for 3 now. Hey, man,
Come on, LeBron.
you've used the LeBron knowledge a lot in trivia over the past couple of times,
Come on.
man.
No
It worked out. That's nice, man. Moving on to the next question, though, we're going to move on to less professional teams. Actually going to move into college teams. I'm going to ask, which college has produced the most Super Bowl quarterbacks? They've produced 5 Super Bowl quarterbacks. Is it A, Purdue, B, California, C, Notre Dame, or D, Alabama?
It's crazy that I want to go with my gut with California. I don't know why. But at the same time, I know it's not, I don't think it's Purdue. I know it's not Alabama. Notre Dame.
Never know, man.
You never know. I'm gonna go with B, Cal. Screw it.
I'm going to go with Notre Dame.
You're going to go Notre Dame?
Yes, sir.
All right, both picks locked in. The answer will be answer number B, California.
Let's go,
had
baby.
5
Come on.
quarterbacks.
Come on,
All the
dog.
other
We in
colleges
this.
had 4 quarterbacks.
We are in this.
I can't tell you the 5. I can't remember what they were. All I do know is Aaron Rodgers and Jared Goff.
That's all I knew, too. So
have
let's go.
been From California.
That's all I knew as well.
So now we got a tie game again going into the 5th round, man. This is
Here we
tough,
go.
man.
Is this
Y'all
the last
going,
one?
Y'all going bar for bar here. So number 5, we have the last question. Who is
Okay,
the
here we
only
go.
player to be awarded a Super Bowl MVP even though they lost? There's been one player in Super Bowl history through all 58 Super Bowls that has won the MVP even though their team lost. All right? Is it going to be A, Von Miller, B, Tom Brady, C, Chuck Howley, or D, Randy White?
Von Miller did win a Super Bowl MVP, but he was on the Broncos and they won, I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
So I want to take Von Miller out. Tom Brady's... No way.
It's a tough question, man. I couldn't let y'all just walk through this, cakewalk this.
I feel like this is not something that you see in the modern game, so I don't think that.
Yeah, I don't want to say
Von
1 or
Miller
2.
Tom Brady.
I don't want to say 1 or 2. It's something you'll see out of a Chuck
I think
Howley
that I'm
or
going to
Randy
go with.
White.
I think I'm going to, flip a coin here. I'm going to go with Chuck Howley.
All right, since he's going with Chuck Howley, I'll flip a coin. I'll go with Randy White to make it interesting. Let's do it. Come on.
All right, so you got Randy White.
Yep.
You got Chuck Howley.
Come on.
The answer is B, Tom Brady.
No,
I'm joking.
okay.
I'm joking.
I was going to say no
I was
way.
going to say.
No way.
The answer is the linebacker from the Dallas Cowboys in Super Bowl V, Chuck Howley.
Super Bowl 5.
I was thinking,
Super Bowl
Against the Pittsburgh
5.
Steelers, the only player in Super Bowl history to win MVP even though their team lost. Okay, good job, man.
Hey,
You got-
Super
4 for
Bowl
5.
Super
you won
Bowl
3 for
5.
5.
No, I went 4 for 5.
You
Go
did
back
go
through.
4 for 5. Yeah, maybe you did. Okay, so 4. He had 3 right.
You know,
That was a
I
good
think
trivia round, guys. Good trivia round.
that was a good. That came down to the last question where we flip a coin of not knowing who it was. I couldn't even tell you who those 2 players were.
A little bit of luck, but gotta like it.
You gotta like
that
it.
was a lot of fun. So.
Had to make it interesting and not go with the same answer. Had to make it interesting. Flip the coin. There we go.
Yeah. That was a very interesting segment for the 1-0 Sports Show. Coming back, we'll talk more Super Bowl. You don't want to miss it.
Man.
Welcome back to the 1-0 Sports Show. All right, Michael, let's get into some Super Bowl analysis for the game on Sunday. 5:30, the San Francisco 49ers will play the Kansas City Chiefs. Who do you think will have more yards in this game, Michael? Patrick Mahomes or Brock Purdy?
So Brock Purdy, I like Brock Purdy. You know, I randomly put him in last semester on Crossfire that he was a top 5 quarterback in the league. And that turned out to be true, apparently. You know, I was kind of joking around when I said it, kind of half joking, kind of half truth. He is a dog. He gets carried by the best offense in the NFL. That's no debate. And then you're going against arguably a top 3 quarterback all time already in Mahomes. I think Mahomes hasn't always played his best games in the Super Bowl, though. It's always been maybe, even though he has 2 and he's found a way to win them, he hasn't always played his best game. But this is Brock Purdy's first Super Bowl in a very, very young career. Remember, this was Mr. Irrelevant. You put him in the best offense and the best system he could probably get to put in, and he excelled. So I'm not thinking he's not going to have a good game, but I think Mahomes is going to have more yards. He's going to come out stopping more yards.
Yeah, I'm going to have to disagree here. I'm going to have to go with Brock Purdy. I think that Mahomes, I agree that he has not always had his best performances in the Super Bowl, especially in that first Super Bowl against the 49ers. Through 2 interceptions, only 1 touchdown. But mainly just off the stats. I mean, it's a very close toss-up. Mahomes in this playoff is averaging around 235 yards per game, and Brock Purdy is averaging around 250. And for me, the main thing is going to be Deebo Samuel, right? So I think that they're going to throw the ball to Deebo Samuel. They're going to get him out there in the screens, and that is going to propel Brock Purdy over Patrick Mahomes for me. But moving on, some similar receivers on these teams. They have dominant tight ends. And so who do you think is going to get the most yards out of those tight ends, George Kittle or Travis Kelce?
I think an obvious point. I mean, I can't argue that's obvious, but I think a big choice here is going to be Kelce. Kelce is Mahomes and has been Mahomes' #1 receiving target since he's been on the team. You know, and this year obviously they haven't had the greatest receiving core. That's been probably their biggest struggle for the Chiefs. The reason they were 11-6, they found a way to get the playoffs though. So I mean, Travis Kelce has 206 yards in the postseason already. He has the most receptions on the team. Kittle isn't even leading his team in receptions. So I think it would be Travis just because that's Mahomes' go-to target, and that's who he's going to target when he needs a big play. So I think, especially with the drop problems that's been going on that went with the Chiefs this year, I mean, I'm going to argue Kelce's not the same as the Kelce he's been, though. He's kind of had a drawback here. He's dropped down. His stats aren't as hot as he's been. He hasn't been as effective. But they still made the Super Bowl, and he's a big reason for that, so I'm going to go with Kelce.
Yeah, I have to agree, no doubt for me. When you talk about greats in the playoffs, you talk about Montana to Rice, Brady to Gronk, and I think Mahomes and Kelce have solidified themselves in that conversation as one of the great playoff duos of all time. And Kelce's just been upping it this season. He's had great games all around. Give me Kelce. I think that is a pretty easy pick for this week. But moving on, who do you think is going to score the first touchdown of this game, Michael?
I'm going to say this just because I think the Chiefs are going to score first and that I love this guy. So let me get this. Hold on. He's a dog. Here we go. Isaiah Pacheco has 3 touchdowns already in the postseason. I might be hard to hear, so I'll take this off. But that was the first take. Isaiah Pacheco's a dog. I love this kid, actually. I've kept up with him throughout the year. He's such a gritty goal line back because he's not the biggest dude. He runs really awkwardly. Like, he runs like this for whatever reason. He runs like an anime character. But he still is – he leads the postseason for the Chiefs in rushing yards, obviously. He has 3 of the 4 touchdowns they have in the postseason. So I think just because I think that – the only reason I'm not saying McCaffrey is because I think the Chiefs are going to score first. So since I think the Chiefs are going to score first, I think Pacheco's going to be one that punches in. They're going to get down to the red zone. They're going to get down to the 15-plus yard line. And that's where they're going to punch in at. So I got to go with Pacheco just for those reasons.
Yeah. If you have a prop, I have a prop, and I'm going to go with bad take on this one. I like Christian McCaffrey to score the first touchdown. I think that's just an easy – I mean, this guy has been going crazy the entire season. He won Offensive Player of the Year last night. He's finished with so many touchdowns, and they love feeding him the rock in the red zone. He's going to be what keeps this offense steady. And in a big game like the Super Bowl, you know that players are coming out nervous. I mean, it's natural. You're playing in the biggest game of your life. You're going to want to get it going on the ground. You're going to want to get easy offense. So I think that Kyle Shanahan, he knows that, and he's going to start this game off with some easy Christian McCaffrey running, which we've seen the 49ers dominate with their offensive line this whole season. And the Chiefs, they suffered a big loss 2 weeks ago with Charles Omenihu tearing his ACL. Unfortunately, the Texas Longhorn will not be able to play in this game. So I think that will affect that. Give me McCaffrey. All right, moving on to a little bit of a bigger statistic award. Who do you think is going to win the Super Bowl MVP, Mike?
Just because I have the Chiefs winning this game, Obviously, there's only one reason the Chiefs are going to win this game, and that's the guy who gets the ball every play, who snap the ball to him. That's Patrick Mahomes. I don't think that's I don't think I need to argue Mahomes at all, because he's obviously the whole reason this team is where they are. Even with the iffy receiving core in a Kelsey down year, this team going 11-6. That's the worst regular season record he's had since coming into the league. And they still found a way to get through the AFC, and they're in the Super Bowl. So it's crazy to me that I think Mahomes is inevitable. He's like Thanos. He's inevitable. He's going to find a way to get his team into the big game and make the plays. He's way more of a game manager than Brock Purdy is. I don't know why they try and give Brock Purdy the game manager. It's Mahomes. Yeah. I think the Chiefs are going to win this game, there's only one reason the Chiefs would win this game. That will be Patrick Mahomes. I got to go with Patrick Mahomes.
All right, well, I am going to have to flip the script and make a live pick on the One Sports Show right now. I think I'm just going to go off the dome and go with Brock Purdy. This guy has been the guy for the San Francisco 49ers the whole year. No matter how much he's been doubted, no matter what has been said about it, he just continues to get the job done. I mean, 3 weeks ago against the Packers, they came back down in the game against the Lions, down 21-3, 21-7. They came all the way back to win that game. Brock Purdy has showed the resiliency, and he showed that he can do it. And I think that I just believe in him. I think that he's been, counted out so many times in his life. I think it's going to be Brock Purdy. I don't know if the 49ers win yet. You have to wait to see that later in the show. But that's it for this segment.
I think if the 49ers win, it's not going to be because of Purdy. That's just my take there.
We'll see. That's it for this segment. Moving on, we'll have Ikey Kohler join us for our pick'ems. You don't want to miss it.
Testing.
Welcome back to the 1-0 Sports Show. We are joined by Ikey Kohler here. We're going to do some NFL pickups. How are you doing today, Ikey?
No, I'm doing good. Ready to talk some Super Bowl football.
Yeah, these are some interesting ones. These are some interesting pick'ems, and they're going to be pretty funny.
Pick'ems Super Bowl edition. We have some good ones today. So let's just start off with the coin toss. This is a highly betted bet on Super Bowl weekend every year. Okay, Mikey, let's start. Heads or tails for you?
This is a regular heads or tails no matter where it is, This is a regular coin flip, you know what I mean? And tails never fails, give me tails.
Yeah.
That's my only argument. It's a coin flip. It's a 50-50 thing. It's the same thing as me flipping a coin right now, but tails never fails. That's my argument. That's all I got.
Tails never fails. I'm going to go heads never dreads.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I'm going to have to also go with the tails never fails argument. I think it's just a little bit too easy. All right, moving on. we have the national anthem length. So this is sitting at 90.5 seconds, over or under. I'll start off this one. I think that a minute and a half is a long time to sing the national anthem. Like, you really got to be dragging it out. So I'm going to go with the under for the national anthem. Ikey, who do you have on this one?
Yeah, I'm going to go over. They have Reba McEntire singing it. Her last, 5 national anthems I heard have all been long. And I feel like she's kind of getting up there in age. She's going to want to savor the moment, sing for the Super Bowl. She's a slow country singer. I think it's going to be over.
I agree with Ikey there, strictly because this is your chance. This is the Super Bowl we're talking about. You are about to sing in front of all of America and possibly a good amount of the world as well. You want to stretch that out as long as possible. You want the longest TV time you can possibly make. And I think you're going to want more than a minute and a half, so I also got to go with the over 90 and a half seconds.
Yeah, that will be an interesting one for sure. You have to get your timers out on Sunday. All right, so moving on, what will be the first scoring method in the Super Bowl? A touchdown, a field goal, safety, and which team will get it? Ikey, who do you think got this one?
I think the Niners are going to get the ball first, and Brock Purdy's going to drive them down the field, and they're going to score a touchdown.
It's a good take.
Probably to Deebo Samuels.
I'm about to flip that. I think the 49ers get the ball first, but Brock Purdy's going to choke his way down the field, and I think I can see them not getting past. I mean, this is still. I think only reason I'm saying that, this is first game this is Super Bowl jitters. You know, it's his first time in this big game. He might have something. He might just be shaking a little bit in his boots when that first snap is snapped to him. If they have the ball first, I'm gonna flip out and I'm going to go to a quarterback who's been in the Super Bowl a couple times. He even has some on his belt. Mahomes is going to take him down the field, and Isaiah Pacheco, like I said the whole time, is going to punch it in, and they're going to set the tone right there early. I think we're going to get into that part, but yeah, good. That's my argument.
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree with you that the Chiefs score first, but I'm not thinking touchdown. I'm thinking field goal. Then the Niners punch in a touchdown with McCaffrey. That is my take. Okay, which half will be the most high-scoring, Mikey?
People always want to say the second half because it's adjustments that are made to make them, and it's like, this is Super Bowl. You want to push it. You want to get it. You want to go win this game, obviously, and you're going to be high-scoring. I'm going to take that. I'm going to say it's going to happen in the first. I think, because a lot of the times, I feel like that second half is kind of underrated because teams, they adjusted to the play calling, and now the defense is tightening up, and now it's going to be neck and neck brown-nosed football. So I think that first half will be the most high-scoring. That was going to also be my argument because they're going to start off early. Like, Pacheco's going to start the tone early, and the Chiefs are going to go up, and 49ers are going to answer, and I think it's just going to be back and forth that first half. And then second half, they're going to make some adjustments. It's going to be a little bit tighter, and I think the first half is going to be the highest scoring.
How about you, Ikey?
See, I kind of have an opposite take than you. I think the first half is going to be pretty low scoring. I think the 49ers defensive line is really going to get after Mahomes, maybe sack him once or twice, and really contain his passing games. And I think the second half it's going to be higher scoring. McCaffrey's going to get rolling, and the offenses are going to pick up in the second half.
Yeah, I agree with you, Ikey. I think this is a heavyweight matchup type of game. You have two great offenses and two great defenses facing off. I think that they're going to have to go with the first half that's going to be, the teams feeling each other out. Got to be a little bit low scoring. You brought up the Super Bowl jitters. I think it's going to be a half where the first half will be a little bit of kind of getting through it a little nervously, but I think the second half is going to be that high scoring half that we're looking for. So moving on to the halftime show, Usher is going to be performing the halftime show this year. There is a over-under of songs at 8.5 songs that he will perform. What do you think on this one, Ikey?
So I was doing some. I'd heard on the radio that he got the show length increased from 13 minutes to 15 minutes, and that hasn't really happened before. But because of that, I think he's going to go over. Maybe fit few new hits in there. See.
New hits for Usher. Okay. Okay.
Maybe Nelly as a guest star.
I like that.
That's actually a good take. That could be an argument for why it would go over, is he maybe has a guest star come on and they're going to perform a song or two. Right. But 15 minutes, especially with the Super Bowl, you're going to have background dance, you're going to have a big stage, a lot of stuff's been going on, obviously. You're going to stretch your songs out. And Usher's a great artist, but I don't think he has more than 8 hits that people are going to be like, I know that song.
Yeah.
He's not going to go perform a song that no one knows. So I think he's going to go with his most known song, so everyone can get involved with it. You know what I mean? I think I'm going to go with the under.
Yeah, I was also thinking the under, but I don't know. I think Ikey might be changing my mind. Possible guest appearance just late in the time. I think I'm going to game time decision flip to the over on songs. All right.
Okay.
So for this next poll, it's a very interesting pick'em right here. So we have Taylor Swift, who has made a lot of appearances, a lot of noise in the NFL season this year. We have a line on how many times she will appear on TV at 5.5, and it counts if she is shown, it cuts away for her for 3 seconds again, and she is shown again, that counts as 2. So, Mikey, what do you think? Over 5.5 TV appearances for Taylor Swift?
I'm smashing the over. Taylor Swift has been so good for social media and engagement that there's no way that if she's at this game and the Chiefs are doing well or whatever it is, or the Chiefs are doing bad, and she's like scared or she's happy, they're going to get her on the TV more than 5 times. So I got to smash the over on the 5.5 for her Taylor Swift appearances.
Yeah. How about you, Ikey?
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think she's going to be shown a lot. I mean, it's really a good marketing move by the NFL. She's helping them reach kind of the younger girl audience, which is the hardest audience to reach, but it's also one of the most valuable. And I really don't have a problem with them showing her on TV. I don't think they're showing her any more than they'd show like a player's mom or another important fan. So yeah, I go over that.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the under, and I'm banking on that she will not make it to the game. I know that she is performing in Japan on the same day as this game, and I'm kind of banking on that. That's kind of my only hope for this under on Taylor Swift TV.
So wait, how does it work if she doesn't show up?
I think it'll just be the under if she doesn't show up. It'll be 0 TV appearance.
That could hurt now. I didn't know she was playing in Japan.
So
I'm not a Taylor Swift fan.
We will see. Taylor Swift, as you mentioned, she has brought in a lot of money, estimated to bring in over $330 million to the Kansas City Chiefs organization. That's a lot of money. Okay, moving on to a more football-related pick'em. What do you guys think if there will be over under 10.5 penalties accepted in this game?
I'm just going to go with the under here. I think it's going to be a pretty clean game and accepted. There are going to be a couple that are denied, too. So, yeah, I'll go under.
Yeah, I got to agree with you, Ikey. I think that 10.5 is a lot. I think it's going to be a clean game. The refs in the Super Bowl, they really don't want to be affecting the game or putting any blame on them. I'm going to have to go with the under as well. What do you think, Mikey?
I think it's pretty common for a team to have like 5 penalties in a game. You know, that's not just like holdings or anything. That's false starts. That's offsides. Those are common. You know what I mean? That's O-line jitters. But then again, last year against there was like 3 or 4 in the fourth quarter holding calls against the Eagles or either team and they were pretty obvious too because they were holding. So I think that's also something I want to bet on is that it's a big game. You get beat off. You don't want to be the reason they score right there. You might tug a little bit. You might hold on to catch up to them. I think that's a reason I might go with the over there, so I'm going to go with the over.
Yeah, interesting pick 'em right there. All right, moving on to, I think, which is actually the most popular Super Bowl bet. We are going with what color will the Gatorade bath be? I'm going to start off with this one. I'm going to go with blue. I think blue is an absolute lock. In the 2010s, it has been blue over 65% of the time, and that is my lock of the week. Who do you have, Ikey?
Yeah,
what color do you have?
I decided to just go blue because, I mean, to me, blue is a lot more tasty than purple Gatorade and orange Gatorade. So
super purple Gatorade.
They're going to want to be drinking good Gatorade on the sideline, so that, at least from my point of view. So yeah,
I think blue's too basic, and I'm switching it up, and I'm gonna go with purple. Purples, don't sleep on purple. Don't sleep on the grape favors, man. Those are great, like grape slushies, grape Gatorades. Don't sleep on the purple, man. That's nice. Grape jam. I like grape jam over strawberry jam. I'm a grape guy, and purple's also my favorite color, ironically. Yeah. So I'm gonna go with purple.
It was purple last year when the Kansas City Chiefs defeated the Philadelphia Eagles.
Let's
and
do it
moving
again.
on to this is a kind of a diabolical prop that we have here sitting at 9. We have, will Travis Kelce propose to Taylor Swift after the game? Ikey, what do you think of this crazy idea?
I mean, I think there's no shot. I just don't see it happening. Not that I'm like some sort of relationship guru or anything, but yeah, I mean, I just don't see it happening.
All right, Michael.
I'm gonna let you take this one because I'm gonna end it because mine's gonna be goofy.
I agree with Ikey, man. Like, you know, we're on this for TSTV, not TMZ. So I'm just gonna go with hopefully not. I don't think so. I mean, they've only been dating for a few months, but I mean, they're both older. It'd be nice for them to settle down. But yeah, I think that would also require the Chiefs to win the game. So I'm gonna go with no.
I feel like they kind of kept their relationship under wraps for a little bit, right? Like they kind of strikes me as more private people, like would want to do it privately and not in front of millions of people.
Yeah, I think that's a good take. All right, Michael.
No, 2 minutes ago I was no. But now I'm flipping it to yes.
You're a believer.
Because I think it's going to be the goofiest proposal you can ever think of. It's going to be on the internet forever. Travis Kelce and the Chiefs are going to go win this game. He's gonna be running the confetti. He's gonna be looking. He's gonna see her in the press box. She's gonna be running down to him. He's got her what's it called? Kyle Juice's life's jacket on for the game. She flies back in from her show in Japan or wherever she's playing, and she's gonna get there in the last quarter of the game. Kelsey's gonna turn up. He's gonna lock it in with a game-winning touchdown. She's gonna run down there, and before they start hugging, he's gonna stop her, and he's gonna pull it out of his pocket, and he's gonna sit there. He's gonna say, "This isn't for the clicks. This isn't for the views. This isn't for the money. This is because I love you." Right there. And he calls it right there. And that's why, now I'm hoping that happens because I'm going to love that moment. That's good for him. Kelce deserves this. I'm going to go with that. I hope he proposes, and let's make it happen. Let's go.
Right. That's quite the script that you cooked up right there, Michael. All right, so moving on to the biggest pick-em.
Yeah.
The biggest pick-em. We're just going with straight up the San Francisco 49ers versus the Kansas City Chiefs. Ikey, who do you have winning the Super Bowl for this NFL season?
I'm going to go Chiefs here. I was thinking Niners about a week ago, and then, I was thinking about the game. I think Mahomes is just too hard to beat. And, it's interesting about Mahomes and the Chiefs. I don't dislike the Chiefs for winning yet. Like, a lot of people hated the Patriots because they won so much. But Brady was more of a, dislikable figure than Mahomes is. I think the Chiefs need a couple more Super Bowl wins to get to where they're really hated, but they've been a poverty franchise for almost the whole time they've been around. And even when Tom Brady went to the Buccaneers, all of a sudden people liked Tom Brady again because the Buccaneers hadn't won a Super Bowl for a while. So, but yeah, I'm going to go with the Chiefs. I still think it's their time, and Chiefs' reign, Mahomes' reign is still going.
I have to agree. I'm going to go with the Chiefs, too, just because I'm a believer in Purdy as an up-and-coming quarterback, good quarterback in the league, but I don't know, man. This is a hard opponent to go. This is a hard quarterback to go against when it's your first time in the Super Bowl. You know what I mean? Like, no matter how great your team is, you have to find a way to outplay Mahomes to win this game. And the only people who have been able to do that has been Burrow and Brady. So and Burrow is a better quarterback. Burrow and Brady are better quarterbacks than Purdy. And Purdy has a great team, but I don't think he's going to be able to find a way to be the better quarterback in that game against Mahomes, no matter how carried he gets by his offense. So I'm going to go with Mahomes and the Chiefs.
Yeah, I'm going to have to hit a not-so-fast on you guys. I am going with the San Francisco 49ers. Shout out to my boy Rylan. I think that Brock Purdy doesn't need to be the greatest quarterback in this game to pull it off for the 49ers. He's shown it all of the playoffs. I'm just waiting until I don't think I'm going to see Brock Purdy play bad this season. I think, he's not the best quarterback. He's not flashy. He's a game manager. But I just believe in him. At the end of the day, I believe in the 49ers. I believe in their defense. I believe in Christian McCaffrey, George Kittle, Deebo Samuel, Brock Purdy, Kyle Shanahan. I think they get it done. But that is it for Want to Know Sports this morning. Make sure to check out our sister shows, College Press Box and College Crossfire. Thank you so much for tuning in, and have a great Friday.